Yo, what's good, what's good? Yo, guys, I'm actually not gonna wait for the timer just because we do have news in about like 10 minutes. So I kind of want to be on by then and walk you guys through what I'm looking at. So we're gonna just go ahead and skip the timer for today and then dive right into it. So, DXY. Okay, guys, so in terms of DXY, okay, we are clearly making a retracement into this range. All right, one of the areas that I was mentioning is this blue shaded area. I really just saw and mentioned that I wanted to see price action play off that area, and I mean we just been playing in that area since yesterday. So now we have taken out, traded into this previous daily low, haven't quite traded into this previous area of accumulation. I want to see price action really dive up there. So I don't think we're done going long, but I do see a short-term sell coming. And so because we have taken out the low, I mean the previous daily high, I'm curious to see if we come back down into the opening or below the opening and continue going long. But yeah, higher high, higher low. You can see price action kind of walking itself up. Another 8 minutes in this candle still. We can trade to the low of this and then just continue pushing higher. Okay, but ideally I'd love to see a bearish closure on this and then just watch price action go to the downside towards this low. Yeah, in terms of the 4-hour, just kind of back into this insufficiency as well, right? And then potentially go long from there. There's two insufficiencies that get my attention. It's this 4-hour one that we're trading right above on, and then this one, the daily insufficiency, which is this gap. Okay, so those two areas do get my attention. Yeah. So we'll see what we end up doing, but we do have this breaker here. And then the 4-hour, let's see. We may just, again, go into that 4-hour and then keep going higher. Those are the two areas that really catch my attention. But overall, just continuation on the longs. Which really brings me here on EU. Even though the downside liquidity has already been taken. Let's see. Let's look on the higher time frame on EU. Still got another few minutes. Traded into this imbalance, started rejecting towards the downside. We've been melting since. Let's look at this range. So if I'm looking for some potential longs on DXY, then I'd be looking for shorts on EU. Yeah, this whole upper area gets my attention on EU. This whole upper area, the blue shaded area here, gets my attention on EU. We can potentially trade back into this order block, bearish order block here, to about 50%. And then continue pushing downwards. Ideally, I'd want this Asian high taken, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe we get this accumulation to that upside, but or maybe we just melt right down. 30 minutes, still bearish. I'm gonna see what happens in there as well. Damn, the short from Monday is still going. I don't think these shorts are long term, just like I don't think that DXY longs are long term. Just the way we're respecting this imbalance overall makes me feel like we're going to short through these areas. But we'll see. Price action is still bullish, so we're just going to follow price action, what price action is telling us. We still have some relative lows to the downside. Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Yeah, I want to see more highs getting taken here. Yeah, I'd love to see Asian highs get taken here. Yeah, we'll dive into indices after. I think indices open might be pretty interesting. And these initial longs into this area might be pretty nice as well. Although I don't like all the relative lows. It would have been a lot nicer if this low would have taken out this previous low right here. But yeah, price action is accumulating to the upside there. Again, I don't think if we do short today, I don't think the shorts are very long term. I do feel like the longs will come today. We're gonna get some pretty nice longs. And in terms of DXY, I do feel like we're gonna get some shorts at some point. Pretty strong shorts. Yeah, eventually, and indices just kind of give you guys an idea. I'm looking for shorts above these highs. Shorts above those highs. S&P shorts above those highs. Doesn't have to do it on all three of them, but look at this breaker though. I want to trade deeper into this breaker. This one right here. I said ideally I'd want to go long on EU. But order flow is not saying longs. Liquidity is, but that's the only thing that's saying longs. You know, and draws on liquidity, I feel like we could still come down here. It's still possible. It doesn't have to, but it's very probable. Got 30 seconds till our Jerome Powell, J. Powell speaks, and at 9:15 Eastern. For those of you who didn't know, those of you just coming in, Jerome Powell speaks in about like 9 seconds. That's when his little thing comes up. Looking for some potential shorts out of these areas up here. What do you know? Give it a couple seconds, minutes for him to actually speak. He's probably just barely getting up on stage. Yeah, give him a couple minutes to talk his shit, and then we'll see the reaction. Some nice longs right there. Indices long. I mean, that one was pretty obvious. I'm not surprised here. I wouldn't even be surprised if through the open we just continue to trade higher. Here it is. We're coming in on our area here. Came above this liquidity. Have some more liquidity down here. We have the 9 a.m. open right there. Remember we were talking about this yesterday. If we are going to distribute, it has to be above the 9 a.m. open. And then we have midnight up here, which I'm not going to mark out midnight, but it's on the upper quadrant right there. So far, respecting bullish order flow, nothing really screaming out shorts right now. Indices as well, I mean, just going long. And your guys' Euro USD might look a little different. I'm on the futures, so it might look kind of choppy, but trust me, it's the same thing at the end of the day. Have you guys ever seen what's the? It's a horrible movie. I feel bad for referencing it, but oh well. What's that movie called? The Interview with James Franco. I don't know what country he goes to, but he tells them that they're the same. It's like, no, we're like same, but different, but still same. It's the same thing here. It's like you guys may be looking at a different feed broker. It looks different, but it's same, right? Same, but different. For those of you who have seen that movie's fucked up. That movie's funny. He goes to North Korea. It's fucking horrible movie, bro. Man, I love that movie at the same time though. Furrows. Same, but different. We'll keep an eye on EU because I do like shorts still on EU. Okay, I really did like the shorts. It's kind of hard to take a trade like that. Not much. These are the type of trades that I personally want to work on, and it's like figuring out where I would put my stop loss in something like this. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wonder, I'm just like, dude, this is such a clean trade, yes? But where would I put my stop loss? I'm still figuring it out, this whole thing out, as you guys can see. This breaker right here, I mean, this was the last push down. I mean, that's a beautiful trade. The area just... this imbalance right here, I guess, looks pretty nice. You know, overtaking this this bullish imbalance there, and then coming back to this one right here would be nice. That'd be a good short right there. And then you got another one right here. If we end up creating this one, just this one lines up with that one, and so you got that one as well. So at that point, leave enough room for both. But yeah, this does look like it's gonna fucking short from here. So just an FYI, I am looking to take it from this zone. I'm probably gonna put my entry at like about 50% right there. Leave a limit to the lows. So just letting you guys know what I'm doing. I'm doing it as we speak, okay? I guess, see, Jerome Powell hasn't even stepped on stage. He's barely coming now. So we can definitely get a nice little retracement pull back into this area. Oh, my broker did tap into that imbalance up there. Oh, man. See, guys, I don't know if we're coming up that high. Yeah, I left a limit just as you guys see this setup right here. And yeah, I mean, guys, the 9 a.m. open. Look at the way that we set up this 9 a.m. open. Right? It makes so much sense. Open, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I'm going to indices, so just keep an eye on that for me, guys. Cause yeah, I want to see indices continue to go long for a little bit. DXY hasn't really done much. EU took the high, DXY didn't take that low. Some bullish divergence, bearish divergence on EU. And, you know, Jay Powell, I imagine he's going to talk his shit, and we're going to keep going higher from here. And honestly, I'm just looking for this upper quadrant up here in terms of DXY. I'm looking for this upper quadrant right there. So I'm going to actually journal that, because we're going to journal every day. This is your guys' invitation and reminder, friendly reminder. Go journal. All right. is Wednesday, November 8th. Yeah, Wednesday, November 8th. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We had that daylight savings a couple nights ago on Sunday. It's really nice. Okay, NASDAQ. You know, I'm long on DXY. For a bit. But as we respect this one, if we respect this gap still, then we're just gonna short. And we're in a pretty good area to continue shorting. Okay. So just an FYI. If you are in, I'd go protect myself. Yeah, I don't like the way we're coming below the open. May come back for that low. Personally gonna delete my limit. The way that we closed here, I don't like it. So deleted my limit. This is pretty bullish still in my eyes. DXY didn't close above. We'll wait for this area. We'll be more patient with that area. Because, again, we are in an area where we took out previous daily low. We're in an area where we could potentially accumulate and take out these Asian highs. So I'm being very aware of where we're at in price. Okay? Just being aware of where we're at in price. It's not the highest probable because we're below the lows and accumulating below the lows, right? Yes, the short makes a lot of sense in my eyes still, but so does the long. And respecting these institutional levels, that's why I always leave my levels on the chart. Look at that. That's a, what is that? That's a previous like high over there on the left, but look at the way we're respecting it over here on the downside. Price action is right where my limit would have been. Again, I'm looking for it to blast through back into that blue shaded area. And for DXY to come back down here. We'll see how GU hit. GU looks ready to drop as well, but I'm gonna be patient. Be very patient, very selective, because lower time frame order flow is still bullish. Yep. So for those of you who haven't traded like Jerome Powell's speaking, it usually goes something like this. It never really does much in terms of like super high volatility. Jerome Powell speaking doesn't do much, but Jerome Powell testifying, when he has those news events, those are pretty high volatility ones. FOMC, when Jerome Powell speaks, high volatility. Yeah, there's a couple instances where it's high volatility. I like the longs here on EU out of this volume imbalance here. Wow, it filled me in horribly. Jesus. What kind of shit was that? The spread on margin is not it. Just looking for that next blue shaded area. Right, and for the liquidity up here in this blue shaded area. Bro, the spread on that was horrible. Like, it did not give it to me. I took it when this low, when we were back in this box, bro. When we were back in that box, I took it. And it filled me in, like, right up here in this area. This was my stop loss right here. Sorry, that was kind of fast, guys, so it's kind of hard to like point things out so fast in terms of stop loss and calling out everything. When we're in the lower time frames, is more difficult. So first, of course, it would be this liquidity 50% and above, and then I'm looking at that final objective to potentially be that high there. So a nice 1 to 6. I am personally in. Again, it just filled me in horribly. Like, I'm probably gonna catch a 1 to 3, but this was really good risk to reward. And bringing back the 9 a.m. thing. 9 a.m. Open. We bought below the open. This is just based on DXY following bearish order flow here on the 15 5-minute. It just kind of kept respecting that bearish order flow. We didn't close above. We almost did, and we ended up closing below. And then on the 5-minute as well, ended up closing below, even though we had almost closed bullish. So just looking for this lower quadrant here. On the right hand side, you guys have the 15-minute, and then this is the 1 hour candle. The opening price, right? And then, well, there goes EU. Who took EU with me? I know it was kind of fast, but first objective's about to get hit. I'm about to take some profits actually and go break even. I think ran for about a 104.5. Again, we were pretty much initially bullish on dollar. Dollar did get to our area where I wanted us to go long from. So this is where if EU starts shorting off, I won't really be surprised. But this is the area that for me on DXY, we have to close below 50% of this breaker, or for me, we're going to go long and towards these highs, and EU is going to end up shorting off. I'm about 80% out of my trade on EU, by the way. I don't really trade EU, so I do believe that we can potentially go long from here, personally. And I'm going to move my stop loss deeper in profit. My stop loss is going to be, just so you guys know, below this imbalance right here. Slightly below. So if it takes me out, then that's about 2.5% overall on that trade. Indices are melting, so I'm guessing EU is going to melt with it. And if EU melts, I mean, I'd be down to short EU, but that was our original bias anyways. But yeah, my stop loss is like right here, below this imbalance, just in case. All right, let's go to indices, right? Me and you had the same entry, but I had the same area already filled. Nice. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm glad that we have the same eyes. Just because I tossed between a lot of charts just barely, so I'm not sure which one you were talking about or when you sent that. But we got previous daily high taken on NASDAQ, we got previous daily high taken on Dow Jones, and we got previous daily highs taken on S&P. We also have a nice rejection after sweeping those highs. Nice rejection over here. Nice rejection over here. How long term will these be? By the way, EU is still going. Yeah, I don't see these being the reversal for the shorts. Okay, just an FYI. Just because, guys, we're resting right below that major high over here, and so for me, it makes more sense to move towards that high before we take out. And across the board, we're so close to those highs that it just makes more sense for us to continue going higher until we succeed. We successfully take out those highs, right? So if we do a short today, I may see a short down to these levels and then continuation to the upside. Okay, but we are getting close to some really extreme highs, and that's where we're building up all this liquidity. Okay, and so there's EU as well. Still going. Stop loss was really tight. I was shaking it for a little bit, but I accepted it. You just gotta accept it. Really good risk to reward on EU. We didn't end up coming down. Cool. And let's go look at the... Yeah, this looks like we can head pretty high. All right, guys. I'm going to leave EU there, okay? We'll let it be. It's a good trade. Good stuff. DXY is still in that previous area of accumulation, where we could get this reversal. These are all the areas that were mentioned here yesterday. We're finally getting them today. Again, I am very curious to see what happens for these longs. Will they actually play out till these relative highs one more time? It looks very likely in my eyes. It looks very, very likely. So let's go to indices actually. Yeah, I remain long on indices. Sorry for anybody that's shorting. I remain long on indices. Let me just copy this over to my charts though, because my journal looking a little lonely over there on the indices. Okay, yeah, looking for those highs right there. Again, previous daily high has been taken. We do have room to drop. We do have room to drop. If you are going to short, cool. Like, we do have room to drop. It makes sense why anybody would want to go short. Trust me. These lows look very much like clappable. Some 5-minute distro. I'm not super convinced. Price action seems to be moving lower on DXY. Looks beautiful so far. To just rip through the lows. Still got quite a bit left in this range, honestly. That remains bullish. Did anybody get in the longs on indices? I didn't ask that. I think these longs were pretty nice as well. You have the 9 a.m. open, which is right there. Look at 9 a.m. open. Came right down to it. And now we're distributing above it. Right? Look at the hourly candle on the right. Look at the opening. Doesn't this make sense if this was the high? Previous area of accumulation down here. Is DXY giving us a little reaction? So tiny. Is this the 4 hour or the 1 hour? Oh, it's the 4 hour candle. The 4 hour candle's about to close. I should have the hourly here, honestly. When it comes to the 1 minute to the 5 minute, I should honestly have just the hourly here. I might add it. EU is finding it up there. But it got to our first, I guess, second partial, and then I don't believe that this is an accumulation that's really going to hold, but hey, the 1 minute, higher high, higher low, internal liquidity. Again, I was long to begin with, so if we end up longing for the day, cool. This is the ugliest price action I've ever seen. Sorry if anybody's done that. GXY shorts, man. We're trading right through that first area. And honestly, it looks like we're just going to close right through that area. So, EU longs. Who's still in EU longs? Who's still in E? Oh, shit. That shit blasted. I think my take profit got hit. Yeah, that was like the original area that I wanted to see it go to. I'm going to leave a final target right here. And then, honestly, guys, I might call it good after that. That was a really high risk to reward, or it is really high risk to reward right there for me. It's running at about a 104. I took it a lot lower, but my area didn't get filled. Running at about a 105, sorry. From that gap that I had mentioned earlier today. And that's why I like futures, because gap shit like that, stuff like this is why I like futures. I don't know if that same gap was in your guys' feeds and the feeds that you guys are looking at, but that's why I like futures, because it shows me data like this, volume gaps that wouldn't regularly be. Because I'm sure this looks choppy as hell for some of you. Like, that looks weird. And it did for me as well at first. But now it just makes sense. To the Asian high, I mean, you're looking at a 1 to 10, almost a 1 to 11. So shout out to EU. Dow took out that high. Took out our weekly objective. So hold on. I like to journal these things. Hold on. Let me make sure that Dow Jones, we were looking at 34,360. 34,360. Almost there. Almost there. We're looking at that high over there on the left. So almost at our weekly objective. Intermediate objective definitely got reached. S&P's still got a ways to go. So again, there's still room for longs. For anybody that, you know, assumes that just because it's Wednesday, we're going to take a fat ass dump. You're not wrong, but I feel like the longs are going to play out for a little bit till then. But now that Dow took some liquidity, we may see some reversals on it. It's just a lot of liquidity towards the downside. You guys see all of this? We took out all the sells. Now we may take out the shorts. I mean the longs. You know what I mean? It's just a really beautiful, pretty trend line. And if there was a place to do it, it'd probably be from here. Anyways, guys. Who's taken some indices long positions and who's taken some EU longs? Drop some fives in the chat. Drop some fives in the chat if you took some longs this week on indices or if you took some longs on EU. Nice, nice. I'm guessing you took SPX. Nice, Alexis. I'm glad. SPX. Yeah, figured. Danny. Nice, brother. I'm glad. It's Danny. Danny from Inner Wealth, I'm guessing. Yeah, it is. Hey, what's good, brother? What's good? Yeah, these longs were nice, guys. Honestly. I like short days like this. I like giving myself a short day because then you're done for the day minutes after you just sat down. Like, you don't know how privileged I am to be able to do that. It is a fucking privilege being able to do this. And it is a privilege and a blessing to be able to share this morning and time and space with every single one of you. Again, guys, just a reminder, we will be streaming. Our last stream for 2023 will be the 21st, Tuesday, the 21st of November. So just an FYI, guys, that's the week of that's the week of Thanksgiving. I just got a lot going on that week. That's really when a little bit of traveling starts and going around and yeah. Anyways, I'm super good. Let's see. What are we looking at so far? A 1-7. So the trade is floating at about a 1-7, guys. Again, I'm gonna let it do its thing. Asian highs are right here. Previous daily highs are over there, but I'm good right there at the Asian highs. For me, it wasn't the full 1-10. I think I'm gonna hit like a 1-8. But either way, super grateful. Right. Thank you, futures and volume gaps. I'm actually really curious. I'm gonna go check it out somewhere else. Hold on. There wasn't a volume gap, but there was a gap. I mean, there was an imbalance here. Boom. Right. So if one didn't line up, this definitely did. Like, cause look at this whole level. The start of this bullish imbalance. The start of this bearish imbalance. The start of this bullish imbalance. That level was just screaming by me. Look, hold on. This is how this level is looking at us right now, bro. Hold on. If that long wasn't staring at you like that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay? Because that's how that long stared at me. And this whole week so far. Like, the longs on indices have stared at me like that. So. That guy makes me laugh. Longs on indices still kind of going. Dow is rejecting. I mean, Dow took that liquidity, guys, so be careful on that. But anybody who's holding their longs, good stuff. Let DXY smack that Asian low. Keep an eye. I would tell you guys this. Keep an eye on DXY and EU. Put an alert on if you're looking for DXY Asian lows, put an alert on DXY Asian lows. And then if you're looking for EU Asian highs, put an alert on that high. Okay, put an alert at that high. If one of them hits it, the likelihood is that the other one is either one lagging behind or there's divergence, right? And so when one gets hit, I usually take out the trade. So correlating assets, really good way to use your correlating assets. But there's that nice 4-hour candle. I mean, we almost bought below that on that wick, but it is really nice long. All right, guys, appreciate you guys for being here today. All right, I'm going to give a 1 hour one-on-one away to the person that can tell me the dog's name I rescued a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. What is the, if you were here, if you tune in week after week, if you tune in to every session, if you watch the recordings, if you review, if you've been studying, then you may have happened to run into that story. Okay, there was a dog that I had to rescue because he was in our front yard. And it ended up being like a whole Saturday. He was with me for like 10. Oh, there it is. My boy Shivan. There we go. Yeah, brother. Durango. Yeah. Durango. Yeah, hit me up, bro. I mean, Shivan, you already know what to do, bro. Just book that 15-minute and I'll extend it for an hour, my guy. Zay was ready, bro. Zay was ready. He was ready. I know yesterday he knew exactly what I was going to ask, bro. Zay yesterday at the end of the session, a couple of days ago, I asked, well, I gave you guys a heads up about that story that I was gonna mention it, and so, yeah, good memory, bro. Yeah, his name's Durango. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on Friday. Remember, Thursdays we don't have streams, but again, happy Wednesday. Talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Trade responsibly. Clap easy. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Okay? Peace.